Hey, it's Mrs. Ellison, and here are this week's book talks. And so the first one that I have for you happens to be called Navy SEAL Dogs. It's written by Mike Ritland, who has been training dogs for use in combat for decades now. He's finally getting around to writing about his own life. There's a little known fact on this book. It is really hard to teach a dog to be cool with being dropped from the helicopter. I had trouble imagining what that was, so I Googled it, and this is what I came up with. The author includes information about dog and human pairs who have been in combat, and that those chapters at the back of the book are really, really sweet. This one is new. It's called The Memory Book. It's by Laura Avery, and our main character is Sammy, and she plans to include being her class valedictorian. She plans on going to NYU this fall. She's a debater. She always wins her debates. What her plans don't include is a very rare form of dementia that affects teenagers, and she learns will eventually take her life. She's trying to stay focused on her plans. She wants to get to New York, and she starts to write a memory book to her future self, and she uses it as a study guide or a cheat sheet to her life. So she includes information about her parents and her brothers and sisters and her old friends and her new friends. You'd think that this book would be a total downer, and it's filled with a surprising amount of hope and humor, even though we all know that there's a really, really tough conclusion to it. This one is called The Game of Love and Death. Have you ever felt like fate was in greater control of your life than you are? Then this is definitely the book for you. Love and death are the main characters, and in this book, they occasionally use two unsuspecting humans as pawns in a game to see which one of them is more powerful, love or death. This current round of pawns or players are called Henry and Flora. They live in Seattle in the late 1930s. The world is slowly recovering from the Great Depression, but there's still a Hooverville where Soto is now, and World War II hasn't erupted yet. Amelia Earhart is currently attempting her flight around the world, and the Hindenburg disaster has just occurred. Henry and Flora are definitely going to meet up because that's what love and death have decided they are going to do. Now, you should know that love hardly ever wins this game against death. But this time, he really feels like his player Henry has what it takes to get Flora to fall in love with him and choose to be with him, despite the fact that the odds are greatly stacked against them. It's a good book. It's an adventurous book. It's set in history, and I really liked it. Finally, this one's a sci-fi with its roots in genetics. Can a computer program help Eve create the first perfect human without any flaws or faults? And would we want this level of perfection in the first place? Eve isn't aware that this is the goal that her mother has set for her while she's doing this work. She just thinks she's testing a DNA simulator that is designed to be used with school children. Okay, those are my suggestions for you this week. They're in the library. Have a great week. Thanks. Bye.